Making Thinking Visible by Devyn O'Keefe. I believe that I use the skills of analysis for my note-taking guide, How to Write an Academic Essay with Research. I believed I used analysis because I did a separation of words into parts to study the other parts and their relationships to each other. I believe I used the skill of analysis when I critiqued other papers in class by doing peer review. An analysis is when you break apart the paper to analyze the parts and their relationship to each other. I believe I did that in my peer review. Not only did I use my skills of analysis in peer review, but I used discrimination as well. Peer review is discrimination because it is making distinctions with items that are similar. I used the skills of evaluation, applying standards, and judgment. I used discrimination to evaluate the scholarly journals and websites in my annotated bibliographies. The example papers given to me for the rhetorical analysis paper in class helped me to use discrimination by using evaluation, applying standards, and judgment from my paper to the student example paper. For my research paper on bullying and my introduction, I used the skills of predicting by relating to my past experiences and knowledge on the topic of bullying. For the conclusion of my research paper on bullying, I used the skills of predicting to foretell from my knowledge and facts from my paper. When writing my annotated bibliography, I had to use the skills of explanation to explain what information my sources contained. When writing my rhetorical analysis, I was able to use the skills of explanation when talking about Monica Lewinsky's Price of Shame TED Talk and what it was all about. I used the skills of interpretation in my annotated bibliography by interpreting all the information in the articles and explaining what it meant. Throughout my research paper on bullying, I was able to use my skills of interpretation. I was able to use this when I interpreted what StopBullying.gov said about bullying and added my own thoughts, as well as many other sections of the research paper. I used my logical reasoning skills when I used the facts throughout my paper to form a good conclusion. I used logical reasoning by making the note-taking guide more comprehensible. I used the skill of logical reasoning to apply how the scholarly journal I researched would relate to my paper.